Good morning, Midnight's Edge fans. We're here to tell you that we have so much more to offer you now at our Mixed Tees store. Not just t-shirts and hoodies, but we do have plenty of those, and new designs for that matter. You can also get mugs, and of course our brand new limited Amber Turds stained blanket. That's right, just for your bed or wherever you need it. So head on over to Mixed Tees now and get all your apparel and goodies from Midnight's Edge.
Get up, wake up, this is your final warning. It's time for Midnight's Edge in the morning. The gang is ready to go and it's time for the show. It's time for Midnight's Edge in the morning.
Greetings, everybody. It is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Hope everybody's having a good one. Good morning, good morning. We have Andre the Boss Man here. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Greetings, everyone. Glad to be here with this illustrious panel.
Yes, we have Chris here. How you doing?
Hey, hey, hey. Top of the morning to everyone.
We also have Paul here. How you doing?
Well, you've gone kind of Irish there, Chris, with that top of the morning. Is it
Little Irish.
Yes, yeah, Irish there.
Diddly
Chris
diddly
Riley?
potatoes.
Are you?
A wee bit of Scots in me, actually.
Yeah, you kind of look like a spud head there, you know. Anyways, Paul here. I'm roasting everybody already. I've been watching all the comedians who first appeared on Johnny Carson. I've just been watching their very first appearances, and I've been watching a lot of roasting. So get ready, you guys are going to suffer at the ire of my comedic wit. If
Gonna be
it ever
spicy
shows
today.
up.
Would not be the first time, sir.
Man, those were
Good
funny.
morning.
Actually, you know who had so far the least funny comedic first time intro so far that I've seen was Letterman. Funnily enough, his first appearance on Carson was very underwhelming. Chandling was hilarious.
I highly recommend the Crispin Glover,
Oh my God.
where he dedicates a song to David Letterman.
His appearance on Letterman was incomprehensible. with the
It should
long
be
hair.
seen by everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way more entertainment. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, so there you are. I recommend to everyone, if you want to just take a break from all the negativity, just go watch Carson reruns on YouTube.
Is that assembled somewhere? Like first?
Yeah, there's a Carson channel.
No, I mean that has first appearances of comedians,
That I don't know,
playlist or something. That'd be great.
but they're great. They're great episodes, the very first ones. Who's the guy who hosts The Price is Right?
Bob Barker or
No,
no,
the comedian.
Drew Carey.
Drew Carey's first appearance was
Oh wow.
killer. Was killer.
Yeah, I don't think Bob is doing it anymore. I think he might have retired or something.
I think he died.
Bob Barker is pretty dead.
He's at the Price is Right.
Motherfucker got as close to 100 as he could without going
Yeah.
over. He
No.
died
And
at 99.
then they turned him into dog food as per
Oh
his
man.
as per his you know.
Oh no.
Well, he loves his animals, right?
Bob's dog burgers or something.
Bob, yeah, that's right. Several very happy animals got to feed off of dog Barker.
I think
Bob.
Letterman was always more of a reaction type of person. Like he would react to people and sort of his reactions
Yes.
were funny. I don't know that he ever really was that funny.
Well, his whole shtick was everything was happening to him.
yeah.
Right? Like it was always, woe is me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nobody loves me.
He's pretty funny, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you the person who takes. I mean, as much as I like Norm Macdonald's material, the person that takes you into places which you just never expected is Shandling, and it's clear just how much effort he put into this writing. Like you could tell as a writer, man, he cranked out a lot of lines at home before he decided to how that was going to stitch together.
Did you say Shandling? Gary Shandling?
Gary Shandling, yes.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh my God. Just
Now he had a show about show business. Did you like
he had
that
two
show?
shows. There was the Gary Shandling show,
Yeah.
which was the precursor to the guys help me,
Larry Sanders.
Larry Sanders show. And the Gary Shandling show was a bit of a shambles. I mean, it was done for $3.
Yeah.
And he had that purposely weird not the guest, but the guy, the assistant, he called him Andy. And one of it, I mean, go watch the 25th anniversary Gary Shandling show. Of course, it's completely made up of old Carson and
Right.
what's his name? Ed Sullivan clips. Like he pretends that he's been on for 25 years. It's okay, but it's, and the thing that's interesting to me, and not to like lose your audience members already so early on this channel, but it's interesting how he needed to do that experiment before he got onto the next show. Like nothing happens in a vacuum, and sometimes you need to try things. And one of the things that's just not available anymore, except on YouTube, is to try stuff. Right? The only place left to try things is YouTube, and it's a good place to try stuff.
Well, we should try. Yeah,
I should try. I'm writing up a whole stand-up routine. I'm going to like try it without an audience and just.
You could do a first appearance. Now on YouTube, you could do your first Johnny Carson appearance.
I could. And what I'll do is every time a joke comes up, I'll number it. And then you guys can, like in the comments, decide whether the joke worked or not.
Oh,
So
man.
I'll do a 5-minute routine, number each joke, and then worked, didn't work, needs work, something like that. So I think
Just
that'll
so
be
you
fun.
know, Andre, in the future, if I ever derail a show again, talking about, I don't know, Ninja Turtles or the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, but that's-
Yeah, I'm missing Ninja
You can
Turtles.
never say a fucking thing, okay? Not one fucking word.
Yeah,
It's
can
Wednesday.
we?
Let's go.
Can we move on from like the Stone Age era?
Just
American
just
talk
interrupt
shows now?
and say it.
Yeah.
Go to the
I know,
chat.
I was just
Go to
letting
the
you
chat.
go. I was just
Yeah.
letting you go.
Hey,
Just
no,
go to
no.
the chat.
Yeah, I was tuned out completely here.
No
So,
one,
yeah, let's get
no
back
one
into
talks.
the show.
No other channel talks about this stuff. So you're
You're not
blessed
wrong.
to have me.
Yeah.
I do
Agreed.
love
We are
getting
blessed
into
to have you.
comedians and stuff with
We are blessed to have you, and
Paul
that means
usually
we are
do.
willing to suffer some talk about
Yes.
vintage talk shows for that to happen.
I remember the good old days.
Mm,
Yeah.
back when
Yeah, as we say in Norway, everything was better during the war. So yeah,
Yes, absolutely. It's certainly not better now.
But good morning, children. How are
Hey,
you doing?
children. Okay.
Yes, no. We got Miller in the house who sends in 14 South African rand, says, Baba Kurtzman, Baba Redstone, greed is good. Is this for reals? I know they're doing some shaking up and moving around over there, but
from what I understand, it's getting ready to. We're not quite there yet. Remember, this guy is a cockroach. But
Yeah.
There's never been a better opportunity. And apparently there's some meetings and stuff happening in the next couple of days and weeks. I don't think that everything is finally settled. When it is, I'm sure that we will get it confirmed from multiple places. But as it is right now, we know that Paramount, they have to make money, and now it's in Skydance's interest that they do. And then you would think it would be in their interest to get rid of Kurtzman. So while I'm not going to count that cockroach out just yet, I would not bet on him, to put it that way.
Or bet against them.
I'll find something else to bet on altogether. How about that?
We just need a cleaning of the house of all these people that have
Big
destroyed
time.
our stuff. Although, I mean, the damn man worked on Fringe. I don't know to what
Yeah.
degree. That was a very entertaining show.
You know what I also would like? After the destruction of all these brands, yeah, I agree. We need some cleaning of the house, but we also need some good old tarring and feathering.
Well, you won't get that.
But probably not. I'm just saying we need it. I've been right about many things. I mean, I said that years ago during the lockdowns, I said that Marvel should take the opportunity right now to scrap everything, absolutely everything that they have in development, except Deadpool and Wolverine. And they didn't. Of course, they don't have to listen to me. They probably don't even listen to the show. But if they had done that, they wouldn't be in the predicament that they are right now, where their brands are destroyed to the point where people don't care anymore. And that's where we are. And I'm saying the same thing right now. For audiences to come back again, I'm not sure it's enough to just change direction and pretend that nothing happened. I think we need some good tarring and feathering for people to forgive. Need that catharsis.
It's like if you go to a restaurant and the staff insults you and serves you crappy food, it doesn't matter if they announce hey, we're firing those people and we're going to improve our menu. You're done. You're not going back. And I think that's what's happened for a lot of people who at one time always gave Disney or deferred to Disney's brand or Marvel's brand. And now they're just kind of like, they're once bitten, twice shy. It's very hard to come back from that for
There's equivalent of that already in Hollywood. It's called We're Going in a Different Direction.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we have actually had
to say.
But we have actually had two Disney tarring and featherings. Well, it's not all that recent, but still, there's been two. One, there was Gina Carano, who was tarred and feathered by Lucasfilm in her firing. And then on the Marvel side of things, Edward Norton was tarred and feathered when they moved on from him as the Hulk.
Yeah.
They did this, like Kevin Feige.
They kind of did it to James Gunn in a way too, but yeah.
Yeah. So there have been
for that. They made up for that one with getting him on for Guardians. But if Bob Iger came out and announced, we've decided to settle with Gina Carano and we treated her poorly, it won't happen again, that would maybe bring some people back.
Yeah. And you know what would also bring some people back? Tarring and feathering Kathleen Kennedy the way that Gina Carano was tarred and feathered.
I'm
tarring and feathering Alex Kurtzman.
Yeah, I'm reticent to use the tarring and feathering of people because I got blocked on Twitter for threatening to tar and feather a politician.
Oh,
yeah.
Be
not
careful.
Blocked. I had to take the tweet down. This has been.
But that's a special class. That's a special class, and
well,
that would be
me. They've earned it just by being.
I know. We all you guys listening know that, but still. They would say that that's a threat against democracy to say something like that. It's not a threat against democracy if you want to tar and feather Alex Kurtzman.
That's true. It's accountability.
Exactly.
There should be a consequence, not a golden parachute.
And also, he should be happy about it because this is the kind of stuff that he's been preaching about accountability and like evening the score and stuff like that, right? So he should be happy to be tarred and feathered now when he's the perpetrator.
Yeah, concur 100%.
The thing that Hollywood elites worry more than anything else is, getting their table at Spago.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, let's keep moving on here. We got Dr. Long Dongler who sends in $1.99 with a thumbs up to remind you to pound that thumbs up if you haven't already. We got Jason Webster who says, so Howard got canceled. I bet he was stern-faced over it. Oh, I see what you did there. So yeah, Paul, this is kind of in our domain a little bit.
It's
radio
domain, yeah.
Well, I mean, I started in radio, but yeah.
Well,
me too.
Domains, yeah.
That's what I just said. It's in both our domains. So somebody like Howard was a name that almost seemed untouchable for the longest time. And now it looks like he may have stepped in the hornet's nest and put himself in a place where he doesn't want to be. I don't know if you've kept up with this at all.
No. I don't get serious satellite news. I'd have to read the stuff that's just popped up. I've seen some things online where people apparently he's gone very lefty and
he's been doing that for a while. Yeah,
he's a Democrat, but who cares? I mean, listen, you wear out your welcome. He's been on air for an awful long time.
I think moving to Sirius was one of his first mistakes. Because I don't know whoever thought that Sirius radio was the future of radio is beyond me.
Well,
because they got to practically give that shit away.
The thing is, it was promising at the beginning until the internet came and people could put 1,000 songs on your iPhone. That being said, there's still I know an awful lot of people who like the way Sirius works. They were a client of ours actually, where no matter where you are, wherever you're, especially truckers, they put on their channel and then they get it all the time without having to worry about hooking up.
But you're talking about a very small, because like I remember, and this is like 5 years ago, Paul. I remember an ex-girlfriend of mine. She had Sirius forever, and I talked her out of finally like getting rid of it. Like, you do realize that 90% of the crap you listen to is the same stuff they keep playing every day.
Sure,
you could just throw it on a memory stick or a disc, or
but that's why you don't have her as a girlfriend anymore.
Probably not. No, well, she called to cancel, and they were so desperate to hang on to her as a customer that she ended up getting a year for what she used to pay for a month.
That's what they do. Now,
so that's what I'm saying is like, this is where I know Sirius is like completely just.
Well, every car comes with a Sirius subscription.
My wife loves hers,
and even my son, he was ready to cancel, and he was, you know what? There's aspects to it. There's a certain aesthetic to it that he likes.
You know what my wife likes about it? She can hear songs that she's not. We sort of build our own playlists with Spotify or whatever, and you have sort of your own little ecosystem of the music you listen to.
Spotify is the other reason. Yeah,
I've got Spotify. I use it all the time. I use it with CarPlay in my car. But generally, what I've done is I'm listening to an album, or I'm listening to a playlist that I've curated. I've got one playlist called 70s Gold, and it's like 400 and something songs from the 70s that I love. And I just put it on random.
You'll never listen to them all. That's the thing.
Yeah, probably not. But if it's on random, I'm always listening to songs that I put on that playlist. But I'm not hearing anything new, right? I'm not hearing any new song that I might like. Now, we do leave the terrestrial radio on in our living room pretty much all the time, down low. But she has found new songs that I've wound up adding to a playlist. So, I mean, it has its adherents, and yes, don't renew your satellite radio subscription without letting them try to give it away.
Yeah. Well, put it this way. Howard is probably too expensive for what they're.
That was kind of what I was getting towards. So I'm not trying to give him excuses, but I think that's part of it is you got something that's kind of a dead format.
Yep.
Right? Like, even radio is barely hanging on, and 99% of radio, and this is what makes me sad, is just satellite rebroadcast. So like, you're hearing the same crap in Toledo that you're hearing in New York, because it's all coming from the same place.
That's right. Blame Bill Clinton.
Yeah, and I hate that, because there's no, like, one of the only stations around here there's only one station really that does any local stuff anymore around here. And it's really difficult to find anything else that doesn't. Because it's all this, you can't even call and get a DJ anymore or anything like that. But all that shit aside, so like, let's put all that aside, because that's one excuse. We'll give Howard that, but I think the bigger problem here was him turning against his audience. He flat out said, if you're a Trump supporter, I don't want you listening to me.
Oh, did he say that?
How well does that? Yeah. Yes. And how well does that work out for people when they do that shit?
Yeah. He did the same thing. If you're not wearing a mask or getting vaccinated, he really went hard in the paint, because he was doing his show from home. He was such a germaphobe. It
was almost like he became the exact opposite of what he set out to be.
You know, long enough, you'll be a villain. I mean, what's the old saying?
You're a hero long enough to see yourself become the villain, basically, in so many ways.
Yeah, and he has. I've been on the Howard Stern show, or I've been in the green room with guests at Howard Stern show back in the early aughts, back when he was still cool. And something, he's taken a heel turn. So he could have a popular YouTube channel or Rumble channel or anything like that if he wanted to. But I think he's just become so niche now. If you're still listening to Howard Stern, maybe you like abuse. I don't know.
Well, when was the last time he's had porn stars on?
I wouldn't know. Back in 2003. Okay.
Well, and that's just it. I'm surprised he hasn't been canceled 2 ways till Sunday by the same people he's trying to defend. Right? Because he goes against everything that they ever wanted in his early days.
I mean, the way he slobbered all over Joe Biden, man. Did
he?
Oh my gosh. Just talking about him being a football hero and talking about how virile it is embarrassing. It's worse than the way David Letterman slobbered all over Obama. Worse than that.
If I interviewed Biden, my first question is, so was it worth ignoring your children as they grew up?
Yeah, right.
That'd be my first first
It was-
question. It's
You
really
know what?
interesting.
You know what would be my first question for Biden if I were to interview him?
Go.
Tell me today's date and where we are.
Yeah.
How many fingers am I holding up?
That's
Question.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not
What is
answering
your
that.
name?
I know the answer to that, and I'm not telling you.
It's interesting contrasting it to listening to actually Shandling, who had a relationship with Bush. And I'm trying to remember which Bush it was, George or the W.
probably
But,
senior, I'd imagine.
yeah.
But yeah.
And he who they accidentally encountered each other and became good friends. And he said, well, obviously they're not politically on the same side, but one of the things he talked about was just what an unbelievably nice person he was, and how family oriented, and how much time he insisted on spending time with his kids.
See,
and wife.
That's one thing that I will say that is missing, right? And unfortunately, it's the left's fault. That is that there's zero ability to be friends with anybody on the other side anymore.
Yeah.
And this is what Bill Maher was just talking about. What was it, 2 weeks ago, a week ago?
Yep.
Where they will not reach across the aisle at all. The left has refused to, and not only do they refuse to reach across the aisle, if they find out you have, they will excommunicate you.
Yeah, they will demutualize you as.
It's because it's a culture war for them. They are in a battle for power. It's simple as that. They're not trying to govern and save the country. They just want more power.
Well, it's so funny watching Elizabeth Warren, Trump stumping for that communist in New York. That's hilarious to.
I love the memes
watch.
of it being a Native American helping an African American. It's hilarious.
Those are the cheap shots. I think just
I like
listening
cheap
to
shots.
her is funny. You don't have to do too much more than going, okay,
Well,
so
she
this is
sounds
really
like
where she's always been.
She's an angry Karen. I mean, she's always yelling. She's always angry and yelling. It's
Well, speaking of that's where Stern, I think, lost his place in pop culture, right?
Yeah.
He used to be the guy who would push against everybody else. He'd be the guy who would be going out there going, y'all are fucking nuts. Can't you see the truth here? The media is turned against this guy, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
No, but whatever hate boner he had in his body, 'cause he's a New Yorker like Trump. I know that, but still.
My recollection was he didn't push necessarily against politics for the sake of politics, but as a shock jock, he brought
Right.
guests on that raised the ire of prudish individuals who might be within a certain cult circle.
Mhm.
So he did it tangentially, just through the guests that he had, the language that he used. I mean, I don't know whether he was the first shock jock, whether he invented that category, but that's how I remember him.
I don't know if he invented it, but he definitely was the first
Who
to
put
really kind of do it
big,
on a
yeah.
national level. Yeah.
his
yeah, so
movie
that
is
was
great.
his stock and trade, and now he's no longer a shock jock. That's gone.
Well, when he
why
went to
would you
Sirius,
listen
he
to him?
kind of started doing more of the interviews, and that for a while was kind of his niche, right? He'd get the guys and gals to come in there and talk about things they normally wouldn't talk about on other shows, and that was
Sure.
kind of his thing. But then he kind of turned in, and this is really what happened to him. He turned into politics. It all became anti-Trump, pro-Biden, and he drank the Kool-Aid,
Yeah.
turned into every fucking woke thing you could think of. And instead of us sitting here talking, because he's at the age now where he should be retiring anyway.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll bet you $5 that'll be the next thing he'll come out and say. He goes, oh, I'm not getting fired. I'm retiring
Yeah.
because I'm 80 years old. I mean, I'm done with this job. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. You watch. That's what he's going to turn around and say. But no, instead of us celebrating this guy who changed the face of radio forever,
No, that's a good point.
we're looking at him like, you fucked yourself, you dumbass. You became, like you were saying, Chris, that old saying, you were a hero long enough to see yourself become the enemy.
Yeah.
And now he literally has become the media that he used to go against, right? Like this was the guy who used to come out on the radio and go, fuck NBC, right? Like that, like that's the thing. He was the anti-establishment. He was rock and roll, punk
Right,
rock,
and-
whatever you want to put there. That's what he was for the longest time.
But the point that you're making, and you mentioned rock and roll, the industry has left him by, as has gone by now. So he would have Aerosmith on when no one else would have Aerosmith on. He would actually have them play. Then he would do a band fight with him, with his stupid band versus Aerosmith. And he would always talk about, like, okay, so how many girls did you bang?
Yep.
Over you. I mean,
Yeah.
but there's no more, like, he was part of the rock and roll era. There's no
Yes.
more rock and roll.
You're not
So-
wrong. And that's where I said he kind of reinvented himself with
Yeah.
talking to movie
Politics.
stars and
Yeah.
well, no, then it moved into politics. It started for a while, like you get, because there's some great interview clips out there from everybody from like Tarantino to other
Yes.
people that he's had on
Oh,
that people still
yeah.
quote to this day.
The
Yeah.
Tarantino stuff was good.
Fantastic.
And not just him, but there's other people that he used to have on all the time and it was sometimes people that normally you wouldn't see on other places because he used to, but that kind of changed. And that's my whole point is once you become this thing that goes against punk rock or rock and roll and everything that he used to be was like, like us, like Andre, we've been asked a million times, what would you do if Kathleen Kennedy actually said she would do an interview with you? We're like, well, we would do an interview with her.
Of course.
Right. It's
Of course.
like, that's the whole thing. It's like, that's the way Stern was. It's like, he would talk to that person that nobody else would dare. Like, and that's kind of what we're missing in this society. We don't have a Howard Stern anymore. And it could be because rock and roll is gone.
Yeah.
But I hate to think
the
that is
business
gone.
around him has changed. He was kind of like the Playboy magazine of radio
Yes.
in that,
Yes.
there's the nudie stuff, but then you'd get the interview with Norman Mailer. Like, he had
Or
that.
Norm Macdonald or whoever. Like,
Well,
yeah.
I'm going a little more highbrow than Norman.
Yeah.
Macdonald.
True. But I mean, you had all levels of it. That's my point.
Yeah. You had some really interesting poets, people, authors, and then in between that, he talked about how many chicks did you bang. So,
Or then he'd turn around and fire Artie Lang in the middle of a show or some shit. Like you get all kinds of crazy stuff go on sometimes.
yeah, no, I remember him when he was on regular radio, and even then I could only stand him for so long. But I understand where he was coming from and what he was trying to do, and often it was on purpose. I mean, it's all a show, right?
Yep.
Anyways, he had a good run.
He had a good run.
There's an awful lot of people who would like to have his run.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's sad. Instead of celebrating, we're actually kind of pointing and laughing, going, well, we all told you all. So
But why is it fired? Why did he wait to get fired is what I wonder. Like, that's such a bad way to exit. That's the announcement, right? That's what I'm seeing from Nerd.
That's what it's coming off as, and that's where I'm saying, like, eventually he'll probably come out with some other statement saying, oh, he wasn't fired. It was a mutual thing, and he's retired.
Well,
or
they're
something.
just not. They're not planning to. His contract goes to the end of the year, and they're not expected to extend it. That's what I'm hearing.
So he's getting Gina Carano'd.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's not getting. They're
Well, that's
just
what they did to
rumors.
Gina. They said, well, we didn't fire her. We just didn't
Right.
extend her contract.
I think the real low point is that he's going to leave, and I'll have never seen Robin Givens' tits.
Oh man, I can introduce you to Miss Howard Stern if you're interested.
Is she well endowed?
Yeah, she's a stripper from this region.
Really?
Yeah, and she's been on the show. Oh gosh, it
This
does.
is Howard Stern. Okay, never.
No, Ms.
Ms. Okay.
Miss MISS. Yeah,
MIS.
he dubbed her Miss Howard Stern. She won a competition. We did a documentary on her. It's insane.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'll have to look up pictures of Howard
Look at
Stern's
my
wife.
IMDb page. You'll find
Okay.
some of the things I'm most embarrassed about. Sirius has not commented on it. Howard Stern has not commented on it. And you would think he would comment on it if there were more to this firing. I think
This sounds like something that's gotten leaked out, maybe.
maybe. Yeah, who knows?
Well, I mean, not to get back to Carson. One of the funniest episodes you should look up is Letterman on Carson when Leno was announced as the next host,
Oh man.
and Letterman and Carson actually comes out and he says, "Are you mad at me?" And it's the most uncomfortable, brilliant interview you will ever see in your lifetime. Just bringing all the bad blood to the surface and how honest they were with each other on air. And it's funny. Oh my God. It is. It's funny. So I'm surprised. And the reason I bring that up is that if Stern is the comedic personality that he claims to be, then he needs to make hay out of it.
Of course. Yes, of course. He needs to be talking about it constantly. What's he got to lose at this point? He's got to be a multi-millionaire.
Oh, he's got no tag day for him or Colbert. This is one of the things that really irritates me with fans. Like, take it. Yeah, like no one needs to start a
Don't cry. Yeah, GoFundMe for Howard. Don't cry
GoFundMe for
Howard.
Stern or for Colbert, please. Like, give me a break. Let him go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to some super chats. Unless Andre had anything to say about Howard Stern, I doubt you even really know much about Howard.
No, I know who he is. I saw the movie and stuff like that. And again, he's the perfect example of the famous quote from The Dark Knight, that you either see yourself, the hero villain thing, that thing. Yeah.
I believe the quote is, either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
That's it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah.
Kalekioki says, everyone called it. This is over on the Rumble side.
Rumble.
Rest in peace, Hulu. That's correct. Yes, Disney will literally buy your toy and break it in front of you, so those who only had Hulu are forced to integrate in Disney Plus to inflate the numbers. So for those who didn't hear about this, yeah, not that it already hasn't pretty much been integrated, but at some point, I can't remember the exact date, they're going to just completely fold Hulu into Disney Plus now, which I think is a big mistake on their part, but hey. They're allowed to make an HBO Max mistake, I guess.
Sure.
Well,
But, also that came out with that earnings call, they're not going to be reporting subscriber numbers anymore, though.
Of course they're not.
Of course, yeah, no.
In the tradition of transparency, I guess, right?
Yeah.
In other words, that means our subscription numbers have fallen past the point where we're comfortable telling anybody anymore.
That's right.
Yeah, because if they were to tell, that would be disastrous for the share price, and it would show the entire Disney Plus adventure to have been a fairy tale and that they never should have engaged on. And everyone would ask them, well, why the hell are you rolling Hulu, which kind of is working, into Disney Plus, which isn't? So, yeah.
And they're getting subscription money for both.
Yep.
So you won't be getting subscription money for both now.
Nope. And the one they no longer will be getting subscription money for is the one that they were forced to buy in full for billions of dollars. I do not recall right now the full amount that they had to pay for Hulu, because
I don't even think we know actually yet.
No, I don't think it has been made public, but it's at least I basically it's more than they paid for Lucasfilm
We know
and Marvel
16
together.
million, and then I think that was just the amount they paid out as a down payment. Wasn't that it?
It was like 9
million?
billion. I heard it was 9 billion.
Or billion, yeah. Sorry, like altogether, I think, or maybe 16 billion was the number we were hearing, or something like that. Yeah, it was an ungodly number, and they got themselves in this mess.
Basically, it's close to what they paid for Lucasfilm and Pixar and Marvel combined. And this was something that they wouldn't have had to pay had they not acquired Fox. But in acquiring Fox, they suddenly got a majority stake of Hulu, which triggered a clause, meaning they had to buy out Universal and Comcast, which were the other big owner there. And then it's their share that they then had to buy for double-digit billion number. And we do not know exactly how much. But again, it's a number that's bigger than what they paid for Star Wars, was for Lucasfilm, for Marvel, and Pixar combined.
Yep.
They all had to pay for Hulu. And now what are they doing with it? Oh, they're rolling it into Disney Plus. That is perhaps the biggest revelation, I think, in today's Disney earnings call, which was a pretty mundane and lackluster affair, all in all.
I think Hulu also is a story in of itself, because it came out very quickly on the heels of Netflix. Some very smart executives saw the writing on the wall, and NBC was there, Fox was there initially. Who else was in on it? Anyways, it was hugely successful. It was the rerun dump for those studios, and it was the perfect match to Netflix. So you had Netflix for movies and stuff, and you had Hulu for reruns of
Yeah.
network TV. And they couldn't leave it well enough alone. No, NBC had to break off and create their own Peacock. I mean, everyone was so goddamn greedy.
Mhm.
It's a it's a cautionary tale of greed on its own. Independent. ABC was on it too. So you had ABC, you had NBC, and Fox, and it was making tons of money.
Yep.
And they just couldn't leave well enough alone.
And this is why it's going to be worse than the whole HBO Max thing, because you guys are right.
Oh.
Because in this case, they would have been so much better off leaving it as a completely separate entity. Like, I don't care if you want to
It's done.
combine it.
But as a separate entity, it's even done. Like it does. Peacock is gone. Fox is gone. I mean, they're not. It's not of no value.
Well, it would have been even to Disney had they just kept hanging, because this is a way that they could have had their cake and eat it too, because we all know that Disney Plus, I think the main problem with Disney Plus is, even though they have more of a subscriber base of adults watching than they do kids, those adults still want to watch the kids' classic entertainment and stuff they grew up with on Disney Channel and all that kind of business. And that's what Disney Channel should be. It should just be the Disney Channel redo. Right, just whatever old stuff they used to show on the Disney Channel and whatever new stuff they want to produce.
Yeah,
for it. Like Hannah Montana reunions and all that kind of shit.
They've gone, if they've confused it too. Although people poo Disney and want to get off it, but the Fox library is fantastic in it. So
well, that's what I was just going to say. Is Hulu should basically be all the adult fare, the FX, Fox, all that kind of stuff, because they just put on like King of the Hill and business like that.
Right.
They see. And I got to go to my Disney Plus app to watch King of the Hill on Hulu.
Yeah. What? What? And from a branding point of view, what is King of the Hill doing on Disney?
Yeah. Exactly.
I totally get it. But on the other hand, I'm also sick of the 37 different apps that you now have to.
I think most people are
subscribe to every single month to get everything. This is what I was talking about. That Hollywood needs to get together and fix this problem that they've created. Because, like I said, there's nothing more fun than watching Netflix and going, okay, I'm going to now get out of Netflix, get onto whatever Disney Channel, load up, pick myself, search for the thing that I want to search for. It's a terrible user experience. They've got to fix that.
Well, and the most frustrating thing for everybody is this. You used to be able to at least go to just Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
And if they didn't have the movie or show you were looking for, well, then you knew you had to go buy it.
Right.
Or find some other means to check it out, whether it's Amazon Prime or whatever. Nowadays, you got a situation where people are griping. And this is why I think physical media has had a major uptick in the last 2 years, is because people are sick and tired of the old, well, I just went to go watch Gremlins and it's no longer on HBO Max and it's not on Netflix and it's not on this and it's not on that. And I can't fucking find it. Well, that's becoming a problem. And in that case, like people like us will say, well, I don't have that fucking problem, and we'll show our physical medium. And then the people are like, you know what? Fuck that. He's right. And so I've gotten so many questions lately in the last year or two about, what players I should buy, the best place to buy movies. Because that's the number one problem, is nobody knows where to buy movies even anymore, because even Walmart's hardly carry any of them. So it's like, well, either unless you got to get used to buying shit online, or you're going to have to find a Barnes & Noble or something like that, because that's pretty much what you're stuck with. But that's kind of where they're at, and they need to learn that they've reached the end of this streaming thing, because we've told them to begin with this streaming war wasn't going to work, and we're probably the same type of people who are going to tell them what they're going to have to do to make it.
It's going to be a while before to
fix it. They're
going to fix it, and because you're an American, you don't even you have most of the riches available to you. There's shows that I can't see from Canada that's on the streaming services. There's shows. I mean, there's a couple of shows in the United States that you'd have to log on to British Netflix to be able to see it. So I mean, it's a mess.
Surfshark.
No, that's right. No.
And Andre and we've talked about this for nigh on almost 10 years now. Actually, it's been about 7 years. I remember we did a really great show with Bill Hunt of the Digital Bits, where we broke down us going through the streaming wars, exactly what was going to happen, and I think everything we predicted came to fruition. And now we're in a new phase. And this new phase is basically, what do you do to fix it? Because they were the underwear gnomes. You're right. Paul, they had this situation where Andre pointed it out years ago that Netflix, they should have never thought about it as a competitor or another studio, even though it technically was a studio. They should have thought about it as a format. Because instead, every studio decided, well, we want some of that Netflix money without realizing how Netflix worked, right? It works just like the cable companies used to work, and they destroyed cable. They destroyed so many things in the process of trying to create their own Netflix that now they're back at square one again. And I think HBO is one of the first ones to kind of realize it. And that's why they've decided, well, we can't just make shows just for HBO Max. They got to be for HBO and for other things too. And I think the rest of them are going to figure that out. And the answer is this. Your streaming service, your personal streaming service studios, that's your new cable company. That's your new HBO, that's your new Showtime, that's your new Disney Channel, what have you. That's your end of the line. Your last place you throw your movie. Because from here on out, you're going to have to start making deals like you did with F1 for Warner Brothers, or make the deals like Universal and Sony have with Netflix and Amazon. Because otherwise, you're not going to be able to make it. Because part of the money that was keeping a lot of these studios afloat as DVD and Blu-ray sales were tanking and streaming was going up was that Netflix and Hulu and Amazon could pay them these big paydays for these movies. And they're not getting that money anymore because they're paying themselves. See, that's what we kept noticing about like Disney is they're like, oh, well, the Marvels was profitable. Well, the only way the Marvels was profitable is because they figured they paid themselves $60 million for the rights to stream it. So how do you figure you've made $60 million when you're literally just moving it from one pocket to the other? That makes absolutely no sense. And that's where they're at right now. All of the studios.
At least all the studios that have a streamer.
Yeah, except for Sony and Lionsgate, basically.
Yeah, they're the clever ones that basically still actually earn money on streaming because they sell it to Netflix for actual money.
And Netflix is a behemoth. 300 million subscribers, all paying $10 plus a month.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not nearly the behemoth that it should have been, because it shouldn't have been a behemoth. It should have been the standard format. It shouldn't be any Hulu, shouldn't be any Disney Plus. It should only be Netflix for streaming. That's where everyone should have gone. There would be no piracy. Everyone would be happy. Everyone would make money.
To take us back to Hulu, like the initial reason why that worked and why it is so popular is the point that Paul brought up in the front end. And that was Netflix was the place you went to for movies and classic TV shows in like their entirety. But Hulu pretty much replaced your TiVo and your VCR.
Yeah.
Because you got to a point where Hulu had just about everything on it the next day. Not a week, not a month, not 6 months, the very next day. So like if I wanted to watch South Park or whatever it was within X amount of hours after it was on TV, I knew I could pop it on Hulu and not have to dick around.
It worked. It worked. They should have, all the networks should have gone on Hulu, leave everything else to Netflix. Two things to subscribe to would not have been that brutal.
Well, and then of course Disney owned ABC or bought ABC, and then with that came ESPN, and
right.
You've got a global audience that wants to watch soccer. That's when Fubo TV sort of started staking their claim. And I think it wasn't Warner Brothers that was going to try to compete with that, with not Fubo TV. Yeah. Against Fubo TV with like a Venu TV or something that they had to cancel that the first of the year. So, I mean, there is not one streaming app to rule them all. Everybody's angling for other stuff.
BritBox.
Right. I think there was some positive ESPN Plus numbers that came out of Disney, but
that's the other problem is none of these guys can even fucking get along with any of the fucking cable companies or the network or the dish networks or any of those things, right? Like, because how often is it, whether it's Paramount or Fox or whoever, in this case now it's Disney, handling these channels, and then all of a sudden, because this was a problem my dad would always gripe about, is I'd have to listen to him bitch because some channel would be, like ABC would be in some contract dispute with Dish Network or DirecTV or whoever it was.
Yep.
And then he wasn't getting to see his game because ESPN wasn't on there right now.
Right.
And that's the thing, is they hold their shit hostage. Well, guess what? None of that shit's worth anything anymore. Nobody cares. Yeah, sports is the only part of it that's worth anything. And that's why the streamers that were smart enough to get in on that, who got that pretty much dick.
Yeah.
But that's where this is at right now, and they're going to kill Hulu in this process. And good for them, Disney. Make another dumb mistake while you're at it. Like, you're going to go back and look at this is what's going to be funny is in like 100 years from now in business schools, they're going to look at the Fox acquisition on Disney as one of the worst business decisions in history.
Well, never should have been allowed by the government.
And never should have been allowed by the government. Absolutely. Because this was the dumbest. It has done nothing but cannibalize one company, and honestly, it has done nothing to help Disney at the end of the day.
Well,
I really I'm failing to see it any place other than the couple of hits that they managed to muster out. Well, guess what? Fox would have been 3 more movies deep by now than Disney, right?
Yeah,
like
Hulu was Hulu was also showing Fox and FX and Stars, and they had good shows.
Yep.
Just to illustrate that point, I think that Disney has spent like something like $100 billion in various acquisitions across the board in the last 10 years, and there's been no noticeable growth in share price in that time. There's been dips and valleys and highs and stuff like that, but in a 10-year period, there basically has been no growth. That's bad. That means something has gone very, very wrong.
Yeah. Well, good for Disney to fuck up one of the best streaming services we had. Good on you. But all right, let's get back into super chats here.
Yeah,
Did not expect to go down that road too far, but that kind of actually gets us into the whole topic of their shareholder meeting or whatever they had this morning.
Yeah, I think actually we have gone through most of it already. There really isn't all that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what else did they bring up this morning? Because I wasn't awake for it. So.
Yeah, no, the gist of is that there's been, of course, they wouldn't use those exact words ever, but the gist of it is that there's been no appreciable growth in share price. So if you came in 10 years ago and everything was great, like our good friend Mike, the Mexican Island man, sorry to say, you came in at the wrong time. You needed to come in 20 years ago to still be in plus. And Bob Iger isn't too keen on originality because, as far as he considers, every single new thing from Marvel that is original content. Plus, familiarity really, really sells so well. Oh, and he was also touting the reviews for Fantastic Four, but not the box office. And there was not one word about Lucasfilm or Star Wars.
Yeah, and we're not alone in noticing that this bombardment of Spider-Man on the internet going, this is clearly Kevin Feige begging them to put this shit out there just to distract from the failure that is Fantastic Four, to remind you they do have another movie coming in a year. Even though it's not Disney technically. They will get a little bit out of it, but still. Yeah, that's not looking too good for them. So yeah, otherwise it sounded like just sports was, even though I brought it up already, sports was the big talk. ESPN NFL deal, like I think they brought that up, as Kaz Grover brought up here. I think that was the only other thing that I guess is of interest that might have been brought up, but no surprise there.
When is Iger's contract finally up?
Next year, isn't it?
Has there been any more talk about Dana Walden taking over his job?
I don't think that's relevant anymore. I mean, because now it's no longer DEI days. So we haven't really heard too much about succession, but we know that he's not gone until 2030. He's just going to step back into an advisory role. Like, he's not out of the company.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but
he's going to JPEG this thing for the next 5 years. In other words.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if it turns out to be Dana Walden at this point, because there's no brownie points in it. I mean, yeah, of course it depends on how much Disney still are beholden to BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street and how much they want a woman in charge. But I think it's much more likely that they want a buy Iger 2.0 who will understand the business and who will do their bidding. So I don't think it's likely that it's going to be Walton. I think it's more likely to be Josh tomorrow or something like that. But that's just my guesstimate. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, none of us saw Chapek coming, and maybe they'll do something like that again and find someone that we haven't even heard about. Personally, I think they need to get an Axeman from outside, but again, that's me.
They need
Bring
a
Chapek back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only other thing I see here is more sequels versus new IP, which frankly I think is a big mistake for Disney, but I understand where they're coming from when you've done nothing but garbage for the last few years, and the only thing you brought out that has been any success has been stuff like Lilo and Stitch.
Yep.
And I think that Freakier Friday is going to do well for them, so I can see where their mentality is coming from, but that's sad because Disney used to be the place where a lot of times you get a lot of original material, regardless if they're rehashing classic stories. At least it was their version of it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but the Freakier Friday Disney ride is not so much fun.
You didn't like becoming your son for 15 minutes?
No, it was the application of all those wrinkles and yeah, I just Mexican Iron Man sent me this morning a picture of him and his extended fam, wearing Mario hats at Universal, and I'm thinking, okay,
nice.
what does Disney have now that comes close to something like that anymore?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Just Marvel, and they don't even have the park rights to Marvel on whichever coast it is. I think it's the East Coast. Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Universal.
Yeah, and that's what's sad because I think that's it wasn't that in Bob's book, Andre? Like they found that out in the process of buying Marvel. They got
Because I
pissed
think Iron Man's at Universal.
That's right.
Yes. See, that's the thing is Universal bought the rights to the Marvel characters years ago.
Theme park.
For their part.
Theme park,
rights.
yeah.
Just the theme park rights.
Now they
So in
also
the process
Universal
of-
also has the Hulk distribution, Hulk movies. If he's the solo
Do
character,
they still have that? I'm not so sure about that, but
did they get it back with the Submariner and all that?
I was going to say I think that was already taken care of.
Yeah,
'Cause I think at this point, because somebody asked Kevin Feige about the Hulk not too long ago, and he's like, "Oh, we can make a Hulk movie if we want to. He's just not a popular character or something."
Yeah,
like
nobody
that.
wants to see a.
It's like, yeah, because you dumb shits haven't made a movie out of him in 20 fucking years. That's why, you idiots, and you made him Mark Ruffalo. But anyhow,
Well, they
that's
tried
neither here nor
twice,
there.
and they,
But yeah, so like, anyway, but yeah, I think Freakier Friday is going to do a lot better than people are expecting it to, whether the movie's good or not.
okay.
Because I think it's gonna attract that Barbie crowd. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna do $1 billion, but I think that the same women and and families that made Beetlejuice do well, and same thing with Barbie. I think they're gonna show up for Freakier Friday.
Yeah.
And once again, I think Disney is going to be its own worst enemy because they're putting a movie out there that's going to probably take away, although optically it will. We'll get into the demographics here, how it won't really hurt it, but optically it will hurt Fantastic Four. But demographically, it's going to be the people that weren't going to see Fantastic Four, I think, are going to go see Freakier Friday. The women and the families.
Oh, sure.
So that's where I think that difference is going to be, and I think that's going to surprise us this next weekend.
I used to like Jamie Lee Curtis.
I used to
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, who
her
didn't?
husband has a movie coming out next month that I'm looking forward to instead. So, yeah, this is Spinal Tap.
Yeah, I think it is funny that Brad Pitt's biggest movie is F1 because I just saw the Inglorious Bastards. I mean, he has made
say-
an awful lot of movies.
I guess
and
if you don't
it's-
count Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and stuff, yeah.
I've seen that. I mean, it's funny that F1, not that F1 can be comparable to My Ding-a-Ling, the song by
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry, which to his death bothered him that it was his only #1 hit ever.
So Brad Pitt doing that Cliff Booth movie. What do we think of that? I mean, David
I'm looking
Fincher
forward to
doing a
it.
Tarantino script for Netflix with Brad Pitt.
Sounds like fun.
I will definitely watch it. It just seems so crazy. I mean, is Fincher not getting any work in Hollywood anymore? Is that?
No, I think what this is exactly what, like, when Paul and I were talking a little while back about Tarantino's retirement, where I said I think he's going to do more writing.
Mhm.
This is kind of what I was talking about.
Okay.
because he has mentioned this too before, where he'd like to see sequels to his movies, but he doesn't want to direct them. Because he's like lives in his own little head where, like, he grew up in an era where the same director rarely came back for a sequel.
That's right.
So I think that's kind of where he's coming from, is he wants to see how other people handle his characters.
Oh, I think that's fascinating. I think we had that discussion, and I showed off my copy of the Django and Zorro, a team up that he wrote, a graphic novel. Yep.
He's never going to do his 10th movie.
I sure wish that Kurtzman's exit would mean Tarantino gets to script some Star Trek.
Well, and I wonder if this.
I don't think he's going to do a 10th movie.
Okay. You think he's going to hold off as long as he can?
No, I think it's going to verklempt him. He's like, what do you do? Like you really put yourself into a corner, and you're going to go, okay, I need to find a way to end this beautifully. The exit has to be great. And as we know, in most sitcoms, the final show sucks.
Yeah.
Unless it's the Bob Newhart.
Maybe you could do a multiverse where all the characters.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think he was leading towards with. Well, that's what I wonder about this Cliff Booth story. I wonder if this isn't just that part of that Critic movie shaved off. Because I don't know if you guys remember, he was what he was going to do for his 10th movie was The Critic.
Yep.
And Cliff Booth was supposed to return in that movie. And it's supposed to take place in the 70s.
Yep.
But then at the last minute, just as they even spent money on it and development and everything like that, and he decided at the last minute he's not going to do it. Well, then all of a sudden this project gets announced, and it's basically Cliff Booth in the 70s. So I'm sitting here going, wait a minute. Did he just repurpose what he was going to do in that
but
and give it to Fincher?
There's just no way. I mean, if you take a look at his films, and I've been going through them now, I'm thinking, how do you top this? And I think the only way you top it is you just go into left field and do an Ultraman.
I think you're right. I don't know what he's going to do for his last film, but I think
it's got to be like a Godzilla movie, like just something that is not going to it's going to relieve the pressure from him, that he gets to enjoy himself. And
I think you're right. I think because I know it's not going to be Kill Bill 3.
Inglourious Bastard, that was some movie. Holy,
you finally got to finish it. So
Jesus.
I told you you'd like the ending.
I love his what if movies. I mean, that's what he did. That's his stock in trade, right? What if movies.
And the funny thing is that movie is actually canon history within the Tarantino verse. So that's not alternate history. That's the actual history in the universe where Pulp Fiction takes place.
It's kind of confusing.
And Pulp Fiction and the way it's edited is actually kind of a time travel movie, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, it begins at the end and ends at the beginning.
That really, as soon as the moment I recognized the restaurant, I went, oh my God. Like I knew what he was doing.
Well, because actually all the stuff with Bruce Willis takes place after that, actually. See, that's the funny thing.
That's right.
Does it?
Because, if you think about it, because he kills John Travolta.
Yep.
So that'd be the day after they did that.
Right.
So everything with Bruce Willis is technically the day after.
Right.
And then, the way it wraps around itself is
fantastic.
Yeah. Because each story is about an individual having some sort of redemption or come to Jesus kind of moment.
I love Plummer.
Yeah.
Holy, what a skank.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Tarantino film, Paul?
So far?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't watched them all?
No, I've been watching them now.
He's still got some to view, yeah.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction is up there.
Yeah, me too.
Just
Dogs, Pulp Fiction, but I'm a huge fan of the Django Unchained.
Oh, Django is fantastic.
Grief. It is.
Oh my.
Yeah.
You know what? I might put that up there because it's actually a better film.
But even the more subdued movie that he did with what's her name, Jackie Brown.
Oh,
Jackie Brown
that was good.
Great.
So far, I haven't seen a bad movie. That I have to say that Christopher Waltz.
Christoph Waltz, yeah.
Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck you would do Inglourious Bastard without him.
No,
what a prancing, preening.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep.
He makes that movie.
You
like
can't
he
do it
is
without
that
him.
Movie.
There's no way.
I think my least favorite is probably The Hateful Eight.
Honestly, I love it, but
I like it, but if I had to say what's your least favorite, that would be the one.
My least favorite is definitely Death Proof.
Oh,
that's an
you
easy
know, I
one.
forget about that.
See,
one.
that's the easy part of that is you can definitely throw that in there.
I haven't
No
seen
problem.
that.
See, the thing about Hateful Eight is that it's basically Tarantino's remake of his own movie, and he's well aware of that.
Of
And that's
Reservoir
what I love
Dogs.
about it. Yes, it's basically Reservoir Dogs remade as a West. So it's a reversal, right? You know, because always it used to be they take old, samurai movies and Westerns and remake them as modern action films. He
Yeah.
did the reversal. He took a modern action film and remade it as a Western.
The
And in my
Living Guy
opinion,
in
made it
LA
better.
was, I thought, thin.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in.
Oh, you see, it is the first time, but once you rewatch it, and see,
Okay.
that's one that every time I rewatch, I find
seen it
more shit in
twice.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
I
It's
love
good.
it more and more each time. I don't know
think
why.
It's good,
Yeah,
but
I
I think
think
it's
it's one of the-
thinner.
Yeah, I think it's one of the weaker entries, but very enjoyable.
Yeah, I
But I
wouldn't
love
call
every
it
minute
weaker.
of it.
I
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. Just
But anyhow, we need to
Yeah.
move on because we're
No,
gonna
no,
be losing
moving on.
Paul.
losing
So,
me. I got to go back run a business.
So with that, was there anything more to say about Disney? Paul, did you notice anything that you wanted to bring up?
You know what? I think we've covered it all.
Okay.
It's just we're living in very interesting times now. We are going to see the changes with regards to wokeology and all that stuff, and we'll see how it affects all these companies and the movies in general. We just want good entertainment.
That's right.
I don't want to pay $20 to go to the theater, but that's not going to change anytime soon. But
Did they bring
yeah.
up Matt Smith starring in Star Wars? Because that was our other story. The guy
we haven't talked about that, but that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I don't
What's
know if
he
you brought
doing?
that up. Well, he's going to be playing the villain, like he was going to be playing in Rise of Palpatine. I wonder if he'll actually get to be in the movie this time.
Yeah.
I'm still tickled that you call it Rise of Palpatine. I think it's perfect.
Well,
Actually, I'm pretty sure it was Andre.
Perfect. No, I
pointed that. Yeah.
agree. Agreed.
Yeah, no, that definitely. I was the first one to call it that. I'm pretty positive of that.
Because he's not
yeah.
wrong. I mean, it
No.
was pretty obvious from the
That's
start.
absolutely
Yeah.
true.
But I think the third movie should have been called The Simping of Kylo Ray.
Oh man. Yes.
Well, I mean, how do you do that? Like, come on. But look, at least this Starfighter thing, to be on topic, it at least has one thing going for it. As far as we know, at this point, it has nothing to do with anything else. I think it's based loosely on their Starfighter novels or whatever that are pretty popular.
Yep.
Matt Smith, great guy to play a villain.
Yep.
Ryan Gosling, popular enough. Sean Levy, great director so far. I'm not hearing anything bad here so far going into this, unless there's some connection with the sequels that we don't know about. This might be one of the few Star Wars projects, and I'm including Mando now because look, don't think that they don't realize they've got a Pedro problem when it comes to Mando.
Precisely.
Because this
As long
movie
as he
probably
doesn't
should have
take
come
his
out a year
helmet off.
ago. Well, you don't think that they're not going to have to say that this stars Pedro Pascal? That's probably in his contract.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and he'll be out doing the shows and licking the color wands and everything else.
The lightsabers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Disney has overestimated the star power of Pedro Pascal, and
They bought in on him.
Yeah.
They're
It's a
the
huge
ones
bet.
who
It's a
put the
huge bet.
most money down on him. Like
I liked his voicing of Mando.
Me too.
it's sad because had he not done all this stupid shit,
Yep.
I don't think he'd be a problem.
Yeah.
Because nobody really had a problem with him until it kind of began with the Gina Carano thing a little bit. And then he started becoming more and more obnoxious.
That wasn't his fault.
Well,
And
no,
then-
it wasn't his fault, but he was out there posting the Confederate flag, MAGA, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's
So
stupid.
so it was, well, look, if you're going to fire Gina, let's look at what Pedro's been doing, right? And then he didn't really come to her aid or defense, right? So I think it did kind of start with that moment. People started waking up to it and going, what's the deal? Where's Pedro?
That's when I remember
Yeah.
him becoming kind of a problem, or however you want to put it.
Yeah.
On my radar, anyway.
Yeah. And then ever since, he's just doubled and tripled down on all the bad behavior.
Because prior to that, he was just the guy that happened to be in that Nicolas Cage movie.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Listen.
he's not an Ezra Miller problem.
No,
but
he wasn't at that time. No.
yeah,
No, he hasn't done anything that we know of. But on the other hand, when Disney turned the Mandalorian into the Rotary Club,
yeah.
like it was where the okay, why am I seeing dozens and dozens of Mandalorians now, and they're all hanging out in a cave?
Yeah.
And what the hell? It was stupid.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing was dumb. Yeah.
There needed to be a mysterious clan. You know, you don't know who's connected to who. I mean, like, whose idea was to turn it into the Rotary?
Well, I kind of dislike that too, because it's going off of what you're getting at. Is I always thought of Boba Fett as kind of like the last of his,
Yeah, why not?
you know, the last vestige of that
Yeah.
Yep.
old
Yeah.
kind of like the Jedi. Only they were bounty hunters and this,
Yep.
you know, kind of mercenary kind of thing or whatever. But
No, can't have that. We got to find a way to get women.
That's why the first 2 seasons, the first season and a half, especially or so of Mando, were good.
Yeah.
Because it was basically a Western in space.
And Ahsoka was good in it.
And I mean, I didn't mind, you know,
I
Baby
didn't like the
Grogu.
puppetry. I didn't like all the okay, really? We need to see the Hensons in this? Really?
Well, when Jack Black joined the show, I think, and Liz.
Oh my god, but that was season 3.
That's right.
That's when I checked out. I checked out after like the first episode. When I saw Boca Raton
Lizzo.
sitting on that fucking throne, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
I just tuned the fuck out. I was
And we
like,
got
what the hell?
Lizzo and Jack Black.
Yeah, that was all we needed.
Well, anyhow, getting back around to what I was saying is I think this might be one of the only things that Disney has as a possible, maybe a win on their hands. I don't know if it's going to be a win-win, but I mean, what do you say, Andre? I mean, it's got some white men in it. It's
I was
Star
afraid to say that.
Well, actually, when you look at what happened with the American Eagle campaign with Sydney Sweeney and how that thing is just blowing up, I mean, yeah, you can't say it because the Wokies are going to be upset by it. But in terms of money, it may not be the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it could.
May
Yeah,
not be the worst idea.
I'm trying to find the bad spot here, right? You don't have a bad director. You got some decent stars here. You're taking the story supposedly from a very popular series of novels.
Yep.
Yeah, this thing might be all right.
I'm
The
looking for
writer's
the
the writer's even pretty good. I did.
I'm looking for a Arbid Sinead Shinoy or something here. Like, are we missing something? Like,
Yeah, she's not involved in that. Yep.
Oh, she's involved in the Ray movie, which isn't happening.
is Nia DaCosta involved somehow? I don't know.
Right. They move her over to be the assistant director of this.
I don't know.
So I think maybe they're being very intentional, and but I don't think it's going to do. I don't even think it'll do. What's the Andor movie called?
Andor.
Oh, Rogue One.
Rogue One. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it'll even do Rogue One numbers.
I think
But
you got a point there. Unless there's something about it that we don't know, right? You got a point.
Yeah.
And I think it's mainly just because Star Wars is a dead brand. Now, I'm not saying like this could be something that could bring Star Wars back from the brink or anything like that. Don't quote me on that.
But it's Sean Levy too.
Yeah.
So it could be good. Good trailer, good promotion. Everybody keeps their politics out of it and just leans into the lore and how excited they are and doesn't try to push diversity and all that crap. It could get a respectable box office, and that would be a good turning point for Lucasfilm. They need that if they intend to keep going with this. If not, this will hopefully it won't land like that. What was that kids show they just did with Jude Law?
The Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, the thing that probably was a decent show according to those that saw it. Problem is, I said the whole time, yeah, but I said this is the kind of show that you produce when your brand is in a strong position. Like an
Ewok adventure movie or some sort of thing. But that was immediately following the Acolyte, and it did. I don't think it washed the taste of the Acolyte out of
No.
anybody's
Well, it was also obvious to me that Skeleton Crew was initially pitched nothing to do with Star Wars, and somehow someone on board. You know what? We need to stitch Star Wars on top of this. That's the way it felt to me. You also have to understand that people are pitching stuff constantly. And then some production company who's thinking of putting money into it saying, you know what? These should all be elephant people. And then suddenly things change and the script changes. I mean, you get the dumbest suggestions, and whoever has the money rules the roost, right? I mean, they're the ones who get to make the decisions and the final decisions. And that's what Skeleton Crew felt like. It was an initial concept that had nothing to do with Star Wars at all. And then they jerry-rigged it on top of it. So, but it was what it was. And unfortunately, it wasn't very good either.
Mm-hmm. Did they have other shows that are coming? I mean, is there
Ahsoka season 2?
Besides Ahsoka season 2?
No.
That is coming, eh?
Yeah, that is coming.
Oh joy. Anyways, I have to run.
Yeah.
I have business people calling me.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, Paul.
Oh, thanks for having been had here. Something.
Yeah, thanks for educating us on the exciting world of vintage comedy shows. And there is an audience for that.
I'm going to do a video on comedy.
I look forward to seeing it.
I'm going to just try to do a few.
Stay in your wheelhouse, Paul.
Yeah, sorry. Get out of the comedy.
No, that is his wheelhouse.
I knew where you were getting. I knew what you were saying there, Mr. Brawley, you nasty person.
You had us laughing from the beginning, and you have us laughing now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyway, I will talk to you, everyone, when I can, and I will see you later. Enjoy the rest of the show, everyone who's watching. Bye.
Thanks for joining.
I've only got a little bit of time left too. What other topics did we want to get to?
I don't know about topics, but we do need to get into these super chats here because they've been very patient.
Yeah.
So Andre, why don't you go ahead and
let's do it.
Jason Webster. I think we didn't read this part of it, but go ahead and start there.
Yeah, no, he says for $2 Australian, what will Howard the Duck Stern do now? Enjoy retirement and the occasional meltdown on Twitter, I should imagine.
I hope so.
Yeah. Or maybe Blue Sky. He seems like the Blue Sky kind of guy.
Absolutely. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. I keep forgetting about Blue Sky.
And then Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle sent in a super sticker. Thank you for that, Flying Blind. Then we got Mark Fields, who says, Tom, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? And hail to the panel. Positive vibes. Well, depends on the version. Usually it's Michelangelo or Raphael. Growing up, it was usually Raphael, but as I get older, I kind of like Michelangelo's style. I just love that he's a fun-loving guy. I'm always impartial to nunchucks, but there you go. There's your answer. Do you guys have a favorite turtle?
I was always, when I was a kid, I was partial to Donatello because I just thought that the
why does that
green
not
of
surprise
skin-
me for some reason? I don't know.
I'll tell you exactly why. The green of his skin and the purple of his mask is the same color combination as the Incredible Hulk. And I was a huge fan of the Hulk.
I'm surprised I never gravitated towards that, but the orange or the red always stuck out to me. That's why. Plus the nunchucks. The nunchucks I was always fond of. But what about you?
Leonardo.
Leo?
I was born Leonardo fan. I'll always be a Leonardo fan.
I think there's always a little piece of your personality that tells about you when it comes to your favorite turtle.
Interesting.
And then Jason Webster says, Kurtzman Trek makes pigs in space look intellectually, culturally profound. It is Shakespeare compared to Kurtzman Trek. Yeah.
Pigs in Space is Shakespeare on its own, but you are
Pigs
correct,
in
Jason.
space.
That is exactly. I mean, that's some high quality, exquisite bacon right there.
Yes, it is. Oh, the Muppet Show. Kurtzman Trek. And I am hearing that Skydance might actually extend Kurtzman's contract.
Oh,
So,
wow. Interesting.
yeah.
I've heard
Interesting.
both sides of it too, and this
Yeah.
is why I haven't been quick to jump on this. They're
Stay
getting
with
rid of
me.
him.
This is
Shit.
why,
Yeah.
like, I'm just saying, we're just going to wait and see how the chips fall down
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
this guy has proven to be a freaking roach. So, yeah.
Well, and this is why I know a lot of people gave you shit for calling John Rocha John Rocha.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he's a roach.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a reason when Andre says stuff sometimes, but yeah, no, I've been hearing this weird rumor that Kurtzman might get renewed year by year, depending on how these things go.
Right.
Because you guys got to remember, a lot of these shows that they're dealing with now are not even going to be on the air for till the next 6 months to a year. So,
Sure.
and supposedly it may even be something in his contract that they have to wait and see. He may have a threshold. It's hard to say. We don't know what the fuck Moonves did. See, that's the problem. I wish we knew somebody in the legal department where we could get our hands. You know what I mean? On what he did for Kurtzman and Secret Hideout, because that would explain so much.
Yep.
It's the missing piece of the puzzle, because I've been able to get through Robert Meyer and we asked Brian Fuller what was this deal and that deal, and there's a missing piece of the puzzle somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Where Johns and Bergs were running the show for a hot minute before Kurtzman came in between the two. Because I asked, was it Kurtzman that came in and usurped you, or however you want to put it? And he's like, oh, no. When I left, it was Johns and Bergs for a while, and then, Kurtzman and I never crossed paths, basically. Because I thought it was ironic that the same shit happened again to Kurtzman when Kurtzman did the same thing with Clarice to him. Because I'm sure you know that, when Fuller did Hannibal, his next logical step was to move on to Silence of the Lambs. But if you've watched any of our videos, there's a huge licensing issue between Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon because of Hannibal Lecter. So, like, there was this big issue, and then Kurtzman came in and cock-blocked that whole thing. So, like, yeah, so I was like, is there this personal vendetta against him or something like that? But I guess, no, it was just a happenstance. But, no, I think something to do with Netflix happened in the meantime, because I don't know if Brian was there with Netflix at first. But anyhow, that being said, we'll see how this next year goes, because that's what I've been hearing. We got that one already. Pack and Proton says, bye-bye, Howard Stern Show. Okay, interviewer, but otherwise, most overrated personality ever.
Yeah. Not going to argue with that.
And then we got Valentine Puppy here, who says, Tom, check your JMS and WB. I'd help you write it.
Check on JMS and WB. Is that...
I haven't had a chance to check into that. He was asking about Babylon 5 and John Michael Straczynski.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't had a chance to even look into it or see what's up with that. I was never a big, huge Babylon 5 fan. I don't
never watched it.
So
I'm a Straczynski. He's a great writer, but I never watched that show.
Yeah, so I have no idea. I could possibly try to reach out to him personally. That'd be the best bet I could do, but it's just finding the time and But I'll do my best to see what I can find out for you guys. I think there's other YouTubers who are way deeper into it, though, that probably have connections with him already that probably know more about it. I know, like, Echo Base and some of those guys did some stuff on that already. Daniel Pine is here and says, is there any sign of hope for Disney at this time? They better hope Avatar does well.
They better hope that the Avengers does well, and they better carry on the course correction they're doing right now and really double down on it. Problem is, I'm not seeing any announcement of mass fightings, and what's needed is there have been fightings already, but there haven't been many enough. There's still way too many wokies in that company, and they need to go all out Sydney Sweeney to fix this.
Yeah, and I don't even think that they're one of the few companies yet that I don't think they've made any announcements that they're trying to even consider dismantling their DEI programs.
Yeah,
right. Because like other studios and other companies have been like, oh, we're getting rid of all that stuff because they know that they're facing some sort of legal issues if they don't. And I don't, unless I'm missing something or don't remember it, I don't think Disney has announced once that they're pulling back. If anything, they've said they're doubling down on that shit.
Yep.
So we'll see. Jason Webster says, first there was Wolfman Jack. That's right. Then Rick Dees. Now Mead Radio gives us Tom Connors. Well, if I could only wish to be in the pantheon of guys like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is royalty. And then you add in Casey Kasem in there. Holy shit.
Oh my.
Jason Webster says the K-drama is moving Gangnam B-side, Vigilante, I'm really going to screw this one up. Young Yun Yin, The Star is Born, Buried Hearts, and our movie are definitely the best series on Disney Plus. Well, there you go. So they're even buying into the K-drama stuff.
Huh.
Bad News Badger's in the house. It says that is my biggest issue with the big corp is they want it all instead of being really good at some. Yes. Yeah, well, that's what we used to have is a lot of smaller companies that were really good at doing some things and some were better at others. And
Sure.
Disney used to be good about family films. Go One for One says, this is for Andre. Why are the Danish so weird? Last news I heard is their zoos are asking for healthy pets for predators. Nordic states seem an enigma.
I haven't heard this particular thing, but hey, you want your snakes and your wolves and everything like that to stay fit and healthy, right? If you have like a hamster that you're fed up or something that is no longer running the way it's supposed to, it's no longer driving the engine or your computer the way it's supposed to, then yeah, the snakes at the Danish zoo, they gotta eat.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around what he's actually saying here. So are they asking for your personal pets so they can feed the predators?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. And then go fuck themselves, and they shouldn't have predators. Let the predators go free and find some fucking live prey somewhere.
Well, you mean us humans? Because we're talking like the predators, both native to and not native to Scandinavian soil there. So, yeah.
What kind of predators can you have in Scandinavia?
You'd be surprised. But the real problem aren't the local ones. It's
Some wolves?
Ones. No, like snakes and shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He just said local. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, what the fuck you got?
A wolf?
Like, deer
bear?
and wolf.
Well,
like, yeah. Like, about
bears.
like here.
Yeah.
Maybe some bear, maybe.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there's so few of them, so you got to feed them, keep them healthy. No, the real dangerous ones though are like snakes and stuff. Like for instance, I remember this thing that happened in Sweden a few years back. It was a hilarious story. I loved it, mostly because I wasn't there. Where it was a guy who was living in like an apartment building block, like one of those commie blocks that we have all over Europe, where you have like 50 different apartments inside of one block, and they all have this connected air system, right? Or the ventilation system. Well,
Right.
One guy, he had an illegal pet. He had a pet cobra. A fully poisonous pet cobra in an apartment block in Sweden. You know what happened on one occasion?
I'm
This
sure that cobra decided to get out and go into the heating vent because it was cold.
Yes, that is exactly right. Where
Oh.
this thing had access to every other apartment
Oh my God.
in the entire complex in Sweden. You know what happens if you get bitten by a cobra randomly in Sweden and they rush you to a hospital? You think they have anti-cobra venom in the hospital
No.
in Sweden? No, they don't.
Oh,
And this guy realized that. So he basically just had to call the police and confess everything and ask forgiveness. And oh, yeah, you might want to evacuate this entire block before anyone gets bitten.
Wow.
Because if they do, they're kind of screwed.
That's serious.
Well, the thing froze to death in the ventilation shaft, so it was all good. But still, I thought it was pretty cool.
Gosh.
And yeah, we do have like vipers. Like we have the common European adder. But that's
I'm still thinking Wisconsin is probably more dangerous. That's my fucking point. Like I'm sitting here
because
going,
of the local people, yeah, probably.
well, not even no, even just the animal population. Like we got like fox, wolves, bears.
Do you have a
Shit.
zoo?
No, that's just normal fucking animals, right? Like on any given day, I almost hit a fox the other day.
Oh,
Like
if
we
you
got
have a pet, you
bobcats
want
all
to
over the
get
fucking
dusty.
place and shit. We had some idiot bring home a bobcat thinking it was a fucking kitten.
Oh no.
Like, you know those videos you see on X? It's like, well, we made a mistake. We thought this was a kitten until it started getting older. Yeah. Idiot ended up. We have people that'll fucking bring in raccoons and shit too. Like, we got all kinds of fucking crazy shit around here. And we got snakes too. In summertime, we'll even get rattlers once in a while. They'll come up here. But like that's why I'm sitting here going, like, in Scandinavia, what can you really have? Reindeer? What do? Get trampled to death? Like,
You got bears there, right?
yeah,
but
maybe some bears.
Not that many of them. Not that many.
Yeah,
And
they don't like
wild
the cold
cats
as
at
much
all?
as you think.
Yeah,
Bears don't like the cold as much as you think. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So we have some bears, but they mostly keep to themselves and they're far away. There's only one place where they are a genuine risk, and that's an island. That, by the way, is the same island where they filmed Superman. Like, that's the South, the Antarctica sequences there. They were filmed in Svalbard. That's this this island. This is where you actually have to have a gun at all times, so you can defend yourself in case a polar bear decides to let your dinner. No
As
joke.
Didi Juvat says here, Wisconsin also has mountain lions, but they're a bit right. True to a point, but you know what?
We don't actually have that. I mean, we have.
I
have
live near an area. Get this
Yeah.
shit, Andre. There's literally an area called Wildcat Mountain for this reason, because it
This
has.
sounds awesome.
Wow.
It is the highest point in Wisconsin. It's where a bunch of different. It's actually a campground too. This is the funny part. People actually go camping here, where it's like, yeah, you might get a chance. You're going to see a fucking wildcat. Yeah.
The most dangerous thing that I have seen in Norwegian nature is a badger. I saw two of them. So.
Oh, we got those. That's one of our state animals, right? We got the Wisconsin Badgers. Like, that's our our mascot or whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but
Those
that's
ordinary
Danish
little
are cool.
bastards.
I love our fellow Scandinavian people. I also really like getting to be absolutely drunk with the Danish, because then I understand what the hell they're saying.
You've said that before.
Yeah.
But yes, we do have some interesting wildlife around here. That is true. Oh, and Polly's popping in at the last moment.
Hey, Paulie.
How you doing, Polly?
Well, good, man. You guys are talking about drunk Danishes and drunk
Well,
Mexicans. Hitting shit. Hitting shit. It's time to come in and talk.
Yeah.
we were just getting through our super chats here. Miller.
Well,
that
to be
comes in-
fair, though, a drunk person from Denmark sounds exactly the same as a sober person from Denmark. This is one of the distinguishing features of the Danish language.
What about okay? Because I know you hung out with Mike last year. Did you guys have some? How do I want to say this? What did you notice about Mexicans drinking as compared to Norwegians?
Not that much, because by that time I'm too drunk to pay attention.
I've hung around both. And let me tell you this. Germanic people will put your ass under the fucking table.
Well,
Period.
because they're not really like their emotions.
They
are just so,
invented
like,
beer.
right.
He also invented Greftefill, which is like proper intoxication. So yeah.
Well, I was gonna say too. It's not like are you a tequila lover?
I'm a lover of anything that can be shotted and has an alcoholic content of more than 60%.
These motherfuckers drink vodka like it's water, dude. Like, come on. Like,
What I'm saying is that because they're so
trying to get the booze or trying to get the alcohol up to 96%. So yeah.
see, that's what I'm saying.
No, I agree with you. I'm saying that because they're so freaking stoic, you don't even know that they're
The only reason you know they're drunk is because they're stumbling over or pissing themselves.
Right.
Like,
Right.
When we fall over, that's when you know. Okay, now we had enough.
I guess what I'm asking is that did Mike break out in song in Spanish and crying over his tequila?
Fucking Mexicans, they do that after
what
3
they do.
beers, man. What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
There was the Latin warmth. Let's put it that way, and everything else that's between gentlemen.
that comes after about 4 or 5, yeah. Then after a pitcher, then shirts come off.
Mike even got a shirt now. Though.
Irish just fight.
This is also something, a proud Germanic thing.
And this is where I get all like with my. This is where I get my argumentative side from, is my Irish, because as soon as we get a few in us, it's just like, fuck you and fuck everybody else and fuck you for looking at me like that. And what the fuck? I'll fight you, you fucker.
There you have the difference between the Germanic and Nordic and the Irish.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the Irish. Like,
But you know the Irish, what you were saying, you're that Irish and Mexican, that is the same thing, man.
very much alike.
The same
yes.
freaking thing. Same Catholic guilt, anger, love. What are you
If
looking
there's
at?
two groups that are very close, and Paulie and I figured this out a long time ago, it's the Irish and the Mexican and how they handle their booze.
Dude.
But anyway, I know Chris has got to go here soon.
What's up, Chris?
Miller says Starfighter DOA as post sequels. That's the only thing it's got really going against it. Otherwise, it looks like this might be a win for Star Wars finally.
Yep, we'll see. I'm of that wait and see category on new Disney Star Wars.
Totally.
anything, you know.
Yeah.
Did you have a few more minutes, Chris, or did you want to check out now?
I'll go through a couple more super chats. I
Sure.
see some that I'm interested
Because
in.
I'm here, he's sticking around.
That's right.
Base Player 2011 Iffy says Django Unchained is interesting because it could take place in Django universe. The guy who asks him his name is Franco Nero, who started the original Django. This is true, but it could also be in the Tarantino universe. I think it's meant to have kind of that.
It needs to be a Tarantino multiverse. That needs to be the 10th movie. Bring it all in.
Have all the different
Everything.
Have the bride.
Jackie.
Have
Everything.
one of the living members of Reservoir Dogs.
If anybody could do it in an interesting way,
Tarantino Avengers movie.
But they were, so my question is Dusk Till Dawn a QT film?
oh sure.
Technically, I think he considers it one of his films, but he
All
doesn't
the
count
Robert
it as
Rodriguez
he doesn't
movies
count it
have
as
to
one
be
of the 10, though. I don't think.
No, because he didn't direct.
It's
it. But
just
then
like True Romance, but yeah.
But then again, he kind of did help direct. You
Yep.
know?
Yeah, he really helped Robert
Yeah.
out. I think a lot of Robert's movies overlap the Tarantino universe.
Well, Robert Rodriguez is basically the Mexican Tarantino. I mean,
Yeah. I
Kind
mean,
of.
So what is Tarantino's Spy Kids movie? When do we get one of those, right?
that's the one thing he's never done is he's never done like a Star Trek or a Spy
No, he's
Kids
even
or-
directed. What was
he did ER.
Hospital ER, yeah.
He did ER.
Yeah, he's
But
done
he
a few
won't-
things like that.
He won't create an IP. I think that's what you're talking about, like a family IP. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Spy
He's not
Kids.
into family films now.
No, he doesn't.
Uh,
like
and-
Andre, or was it Paul's idea of him doing a big kaiju type movie just to have fun?
I don't know if he'd be into that, but he might. Oh, look at
Uh-oh. I'm
Two of
confused now, Paulie.
Accident Seller says, what about Quentin Tarantino James Bond movie with Martin Sokaz? I think I'm saying that wrong.
Yeah.
As a villain, he was great in The Equalizer and Born Identity. Would be amazing. Oh, I'm sure Tarantino would do fine with it. I don't even know if he's that much of a Bond fan. Maybe he is.
I don't want that because Tarantino is too much of his own director, and just because he's amazing at what he does doesn't necessarily mean that you want him playing in someone else's sandbox, following someone else's rules.
Yeah.
As cool as an idea as that might be, just think of it. Quentin Tarantino might, in order to be Quentin Tarantino, he would have to do something that is decidedly not Bond in order for it to be Tarantino.
That or not Tarantino. One or the
Well,
other,
I'd still watch it.
Exactly.
I mean, I'd still watch it just like I'd watch a Tarantino Trek movie. But I still prefer maybe seeing a Nolan Bond movie before I would a Tarantino at this point.
I could see him doing something like Star Trek before I could ever see him doing James Bond.
Okay.
See,
It's
that's
not
where
going
I
to
agree
happen
with
now,
Andre.
though. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
No,
None of-
I-
it's not.
No,
it
it's
would have
not.
happened already.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And J.J. Abrams screwed it up. Timing screws up schedules. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
he was
we
never
all
going to direct anyway. He was
can
just
still
going to
script
write
it. Yep.
Or no, yeah, he was going to direct it. That's right. He was just
script
going
it,
to.
or even do the. I think what he's doing with Fincher is just awesome. I'm
That's
excited.
what I think the future of his stuff
I'm
is.
so
But,
excited. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Go
think
one
that-
for one. Go one for one. Sends in $20 Mexican and says, "Read
Really?
about Pedro's dad. His daddy ain't no saint." Oh yeah, we brought him up before on here.
Yeah, it's not new news.
Yeah,
You know.
just do a little cursory search on that. Accident Seller says, following up on my 007 chat, what do you think of either Ian Glenn or Ciaran Hinds as a Bond villain?
Love
They do
Hines,
have Dangerous
for
Suave
sure.
to the.
I mean,
yeah.
they're all. Yeah,
Nice.
they're all.
For sure.
Yeah.
all good picks.
Yeah, Martin Chokas is. I love that. I love those kind of European actors that can play different types of ethnicities from that area, and you're like, what is this guy? And then they're like, they can throw on the pure evil and charm at the same time. That's Chocas. That Hines is a little more like your stoic grandfather, but he'll cut you, you know. Yeah.
Ian Glenn, wasn't he in Silo? Wasn't he the guy in Silo? Am I thinking of the same guy? I think so.
He was in Game of Thrones, and he was
sure.
Let me look at the same guy. Yeah.
Let me look him up.
God, speaking of heavies, though, I still can't believe Paul had no idea who Danny Houston was.
I know, right?
I can't.
I wouldn't have known him by his name. I only know him by his face.
I mean, it's John Huston's son, for fuck's sake. I mean, like,
I didn't know that, to be honest, until you.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, no, shit!
The only reason I know who he is because of 30 Days at Night.
He sounds just like his dad too. I mean,
he
come
stood
on.
out so much to me for that. Yeah,
but he's always a great heavy. Fucking Danny Houston. He's even Angelica's little brother.
But a lot of times he's a heavy in a comedy, you know?
Yeah, but he's great no matter what he does. Okay. That's what I'm saying. He's one of those actors where even in a shit film, you're like, oh, at least he's
he's straight out of Central Casting, and that's some of my favorite actors are that way, you know.
Well, he's got the pedigree. So
with Lee and Glenn, fantastic look, character actor, but more of like calling your all-purpose, UK, maybe even a little Nordic look. To me, in my book, he's wonderful.
We all know it's going to be Pedro, right? Pedro's going to be the villain in the next Bond.
Pedro's going to be the new Bond.
You know, for people that hate him so much, all y'all do is talk about him. He's gonna, they're gonna cast him some shit. Just Midnight's Edge. Midnight's Edge talks about him.
Well, like I said, him as a Bond villain is not a bad move. That's where he needs to be.
Here's what I say.
Here's Wonder Woman 1984.
Do you know who the new heavy rumor for Bond is? And I can't even believe that they're even thinking about this. Tom fucking Holland.
That's terrible. Terrible.
I mean,
that's an Amy Pascal choice right there.
Yeah, no, it is an Amy Pascal choice. Amy wants some of that Tom Holland ass.
Yeah, I believe that she was also instrumental in him getting hired.
She was,
for that Sony like Uncharted.
Yeah,
as long as he
keeps as well.
As long as he keeps doing Spidey, Bond's not going to happen.
No, Amy's got a thing for Tom, like Barbara Broccoli had for Daniel.
You're probably not wrong.
Yeah, and
she wants to slob on that knob.
What's the guy's name from Her Majesty's?
I thought you said something else.
Yeah, my only issue with Tom Holland is he just looks too young. It's not that he is too young. It's just that he looks, and that's what makes him perfect for Spider-Man, right? He's been able to be in his 20s and play a kid still.
Yeah, some actors are going to look like that until they're in their 40s. They're finally going to get a couple of wrinkles.
But he's like, what, 27 now or something like that? No.
There's going to be actors. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, those are good choices. Accident Seller, and then we got Super Endoq, if I can say that. I am far more interested in Warner Brothers' financial situation. Disney is still pulling a smokescreen business, whereas Warner Brothers has proven they made real changes. Yeah, but you wouldn't know that from the press, right? God forbid they actually note that. Daniel Pine says, which would be better to revive Disney 2D animation, use the Paperman tech, release a 2D movie once in a while, ditch 3D and fully use 2D. Well, they'll never ditch 3D. No. But I've been making this prediction for a couple of years now that somebody somewhere is going to pop up out of nowhere with a completely hand-drawn 2D animation done on cell, shot on film movie at some point here in the next 5 to 10 years. And it is going to take the world by storm. And everybody's going to go, oh my God, it looks so amazing. We haven't seen animation like this in so long. And everybody's going to go, yeah, that's what we used to get all the time before computers got involved. And then Disney's going to scramble trying to figure out how to match that. And you know what? Sad is they won't be able to.
Yep.
Because they don't know how to do that anymore. That is pretty much what their old animators have said when whenever they're asked about why Disney doesn't do this kind of stuff, it's because they don't have anybody there who knows how to do this shit.
When they don't want to pay for it if they did.
Well, that's just it. It's so expensive to do
Yeah.
standard animation.
Yeah.
Because that's the other problem is at some point, Daniel, is you're always going to have computer involved. Even since the 90s, they've had computer. My memory, I think it was Rescuers Down Under was the first one to have
Yep.
where they did the painting process by animation.
Yeah.
Or by computer, and then from there on out, like Beauty and the Beast had that whole animated sequence.
Aladdin with the
Aladdin had a whole sequences and stuff like that were done in computer, to the point where they started using computers completely for backgrounds and all kinds of stuff. And then you get to Treasure Planet, I think, and you're using full 3D models and stuff throughout the movies. And Don Bluth was copying that with Titan AE and other stuff, to where by the time you get to that, none of that is. I mean, yes, it's hand drawn. But none of it's done on cells.
No.
It's all done in the computer now. So, yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to bring buggy whips back. I'm sorry.
Like I said, it's going to be somebody in their garage or their basement working with 5 other guys who make this amazing looking 2D animated, hand-drawn and painted movie. And everybody's going to go, oh, it's like a moving picture, like a moving painting. It's like, yeah, we used to get those every other year from Disney.
Yeah, and I don't even think there's any fairy tales that Disney could upgrade. I mean, I'm sure there are amongst other cultures that they could continue to pull from, but nothing's on my radar. But then again,
their
I'm over
mistake
50.
was when they started with Tarzan, instead of Lone Ranger being a live action film, it should have been a 2D animated film. See, they should have come back around to this whole idea of, because like things like Tarzan and Lone Ranger, they're no different than old fairy tales. They're just the modern fairy tales, and like what they did with Hercules, right? Like that was mythology. Well, like those kind of things are modern mythology. Like if they had gotten their hands on like the Shadow or the Phantom or something like that, would have been the next thing. Like they had John Carter even, right? Like you're talking like you had this whole era that they could have rebrought back and revitalized this golden era of serials into their next animated features, and they fucked that up.
Buck Rogers.
I don't know, Andre, what you would have thought of that,
Gordon.
but yeah.
You know what? If I could say something really quickly, those are great ideas. Is that they're going to have to really clean house, and bring in a kind of showrunner, executive producer, whatever that person is, who really has a great love and appreciation for their legends, for all their old material, right? Because they can revitalize it, they can do them for a new generation. Now, here's the problem. Snow White is going to be probably the worst film of the year, and so at the end of this year, that's going to come up again.
Yeah,
and all the lists. It's in my list as one of the top worst films so far of the year. So they're gonna have to wear that, man, and then they're gonna have to shake it off, and they can't be doing the same shit again. So they're gonna have to learn their lessons from this, because those lists and how it performed is really, they really need to pay attention to everything that went down.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's keep moving along here. We only got a few more left to go. SFX 13 F314 Sabretooth Raptor. I'll get it right one of these days. You know it. Tom, if you go to see TMNT event, do it for me in spirit. Likely not in my area. Thanks. Well, that sucks. Check Fathom events. I know there's like 5 different days it's going on, and every day it's in like different places. And that's what I was talking about last night on the show, is I'm kind of trying to coordinate when I can both afford it, go see it, with my schedule and all that kind of business, in a place that isn't going to, take me 3 hours out of the way to see it. So I got a few options within certain distances, but fingers crossed, go to Fathom events and maybe you'll get lucky.
F1 on IMAX, back in theaters this weekend.
Yeah, but what he's talking about is in 10 days, TMNT 1990 is going to be on Fathom events. Yep. Hyperguyver 2 says, thanks to Andre, I'm on my 2nd bottle of Black Death.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Bad News Badger 6660 sends in 50 Danish krona to say studies show alcohol contain female hormones. After a night of drinking, men has lost the ability to speak coherently and responsibility to drive a car. Oh. And then we got Accident Seller who says Pedro is a Bond girl. He sings the theme song. Oh no. What was that, Andre? What'd you say?
No, nothing. Like, people really have to stop wishing Pedro into everything because you're going to get it.
Well, did you hear that Weapons movie lucked out?
Yes, I did hear that.
I love how he's going to the press with that. It's like, you know what? That might be the best press for your movie yet. Because this movie's already had a bunch of buzz going for it.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if Pedro Pascal was in this thing, the only buzz that would be around it is, oh no, Pedro Pascal's in another movie and it would fail. Now you've actually given your movie a fighting chance because you go, guess what? It doesn't have Pedro Pascal in it.
I love it.
He's not reporting it that way, but that's kind of the gist I'm getting from it.
Yeah, he didn't report it that way at all.
No.
but,
No.
But that's the thing, right? It is that he took other work. He made the choice, and those other films didn't do well. Whereas this one looks like it's going to knock it out of the park. We saw it, and Rosa saw it. Her main thing was the ending, which I'll take that kind of criticism because that's that type of critique because she didn't get the ending. So that says to me, someone is going to get it. Some people in the audience will, but the whole film was just the storytelling. It's not what you expect. It's pretty riveting. I think this is going to do
Weapons.
Yeah, Weapons. I think Weapons is going to.
It might be the surprise, and it might be the counter programming of the weekend because I think both of these come out this weekend. The Freaky Friday and this.
Yeah, I heard you earlier about Freaky Friday. It is getting decent response. There's a lot of competition. We'll see how it does.
Well, and you know, one of the reasons why I'm already seeing so much advertising for Freakier Friday, like they have so many tie-ins for like even an Invisalign tie-in.
Great.
Well, I think if all those things right now, you have a Lindsay Lohan appreciation going on right now, kind of like a Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, kind of like a revival of her.
And she's got fans, man. And that, you know, and I think her appeal kind of crosses different types of fandoms, whereas people
No, finish your thought.
I just think she's got different appeal in different fandoms, and I think they'll either, I don't know if they'll go see the movie, but maybe they'll definitely see it once it streams because it's Freaky Friday, but whatever.
I think it's going to surprise us at the box office, but. The thing with Lindsay Lohan is, her fan base is now 20 years older and made 20 years of mistakes just like she has. So it's a lot easier to forgive her now. Yeah. Right? Like, that's the thing is, back when she first was making all these mistakes, those girls hadn't done shit. Then they went to college, and now they're like, I understand Lindsay. Like, because they're alcoholic with 3 kids and 3 divorces, too. I'm kidding. Accident Seller says Sam Neill auditioned for 007. Would be cool to see. Well, he's way too old now, but yeah, to see the audition, yeah, that'd be interesting.
That'd be great.
I'm sure there's been a lot of interesting actors who have auditioned for Bond over the years.
Yeah.
So yeah. But we are caught up on that, and let me double check the Rumble side of things, which I think we're good on, which we are. We got the Kalekioki one already from there. So yes, we're good. I think. Because that was about the Hulu numbers. Everyone called it, yep, rip Hulu, yep. All right, so Chris, tell everybody about Bleeding Fool.
BleedingFool.com. We are going to be publishing our pick for the greatest Godzilla movie ranked out of the Heisei, Millennium, and Reiwa era films. Some people might guess it, but -1 came in second place. We posted that last night.
What?
We're also,
What?
Hey guys.
Unless it's the first Godzilla, I reject their hypothesis.
I don't write the reviews.
You see how he walks it back?
I don't write the review. That's what the comment section's for.
If it's Godzilla 98, Yellow Flash is going to have a field day with your ass.
That's not of that era. We're talking about the Fantastic Flop and kind of what that means for Disney's Star Wars, which I think we sort of touched on here. But for whatever reason, the hottest story right now is a story from a couple of days ago where Netflix canceling Schwarzenegger's Fubar series. lot of the
Yes.
comments are talking about screw your foobar, and I think it just amuses me. I think I don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger really calculated what he said back during.
He did not
Unfortunately,
think
his
that
apology,
through. No.
yeah, his apology didn't get nearly as much.
But was that movie? Was
Coverage.
that? I heard that TV show just wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's
Okay.
not very fun.
That was the
So
other thing too.
that's
yeah.
what really killed it. Let's
Yeah, let's be real, guys.
Yeah, and
On the other
apparently
hand,
I haven't
Tulsa
seen
King-
it myself, but
Yeah.
apparently season 1 was all right, but season 2 fell off. a cliff.
Season 2 is where
Season
it went
2,
off.
right,
Yeah.
right.
On the other
Yeah.
hand, Sly's Tulsa King just got a trailer for season 3, which will drop on September 21st.
Great show. I'm actually going back and watching a show that I missed.
Fuba.
I like Taylor Sheridan's work, but it made me interested in Goliath, a movie or TV show from a few years ago.
I told you about
Stars.
that, didn't I? Or
Did
I remember
you?
telling
You might
somebody.
have.
Maybe I
Billy
told
Bob
Andre
Thornton?
about it. Yeah, because I was like, because I remember telling everybody about it
Bah.
because the show's already like a few years old.
Yep.
And it's weird.
2019, I think, is when it came out.
I think it initially started in 16 and then it ended in 19. But like, yeah,
Okay, maybe that's
it's
right.
funny because as you're watching it, you're going to see a bunch of shit going, whoa, this is way ahead of its time. Like it's almost like it called something. Like,
It's very interesting. Yeah,
Isn't it?
we just finished the first season. It's pretty good. It's
I'm
called
trying to remember.
Goliath.
Wasn't it Aaron Sorkin or who was it that worked on it?
Oh gosh, David
Oh,
Kelly, I believe.
David Kelly, that's it. Sorry.
Yeah, who has got a great.
Yeah, I got on a Billy Bob kick and I saw that and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch it. And I
Yeah,
ended up
maybe the
binge watching
algorithm
the
pushed
whole
it.
show.
Yeah, it's great. Well, so far it's great. So, but you
Nice.
can check us out at bleedingfull.com. On
Yep.
X, we are at bleedingfull, and I am on X at Chris Brawley, and I had a heck of a time. Guys, let me know on the schedule concerns we talked about, and I'll keep up with you in the chat.
Yeah, we haven't really brought that up to the chat yet, but maybe we'll bring that up in here. But we'll let Paulie plug his wares first. Go ahead.
Going live right now. I got
All right.
Loki coming on. I got Danny from Comics coming on. Some cool guests. Gonna talk a lot about what you guys are talking about and some other stuff. Stick around.
All
Good to
right.
see you, Polly.
Good to see you always, brother.
Sounds good.
Much love.
And Andre. So yes, we are thinking of moving the show. Isn't that correct?
We are indeed. We still have a couple of things to work out, but we might want to start getting ready because Midnight's Edge in the morning will come even in the morninger.
Yes.
More morninger than ever morninger before.
Yes. All right. I got to fly, but I'll talk to you later about this. That's great news. I love that.
Take care. So yeah, we'll let you know the details on that as we get to know more. But due to several reasons, we will be moving the show up a few hours. We'll let you guys know the exacts as soon as we do, and we do have to do a member stream very soon.
We will, yes.
We are way behind on that. We apologize, guys, but hopefully when we get to that, we'll be able to bring you guys up to speed on what's been at least somewhat going on, so you know why it's been so long, and maybe we've got some ideas for the future that will hopefully get you guys excited. So stay tuned for that. And with that, as you always say, Andre,
It is time for some koalas in the rain.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given. Koalas in the rain.